The Pod Show by Beat Fact Music. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Go and hit Beat Fact Music. BEATFAKMUSIC. Hit that subscribe button. Also, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check it out. Now let's get to the show.
Tom, what do you feel like are those next steps you guys have to make?
And again, like you would do after every season, you take a step back. I think decompress. You do a deep dive on the team, and then you analyze what you think you need to improve upon. And then we have the draft, and then we have free agency, and there's trades, and then there's the internal development, and then it's the study and preparation for next season. And so it's a big off season for us.
Jalen, when you talk about the confidence, obviously, I feel like nobody takes more criticism than Tom. And this team obviously has turned around during his tenure. Do you kind of feel that going forward he's the same guy to lift you guys the rest of the way, that next level?
Is that a real question right now? You just asked me if I believe that if he's the right guy. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Come on.
So the Knicks season has ended. The Pacers were just better tonight. The Pacers played a good game. They played this game like it was Game 7 at home. They knew they didn't want to go back to New York. They knew what they were going to run into, and they knew they weren't going to get a Game 1 situation again where they came back from 8 down with a couple of seconds to go. They knew that wasn't going to be the case. They knew if they go back to Madison Square Gardens, it's going to be potentially lights out and a blown 3-1 lead. So they came out tonight. They did their part. Congratulations to them. Coach Carlisle once again with a strong coaching strategy. He played 10 guys? There were 7 guys in double figures. I mean, how much more can you ask from your team? And I think he played a total of, if I'm correct, he played 10 guys. 2 guys on the bench had 10 plus. Obi Toppin had 18 and Thomas Bryant had 11. And of course, Halliburton came out and did his thing at 21 and 13 assists, 6 rebounds. He had 3 steals, and of course, Pascal had another one of those Pascal games that the New York Knicks and most of us was hoping he wouldn't have. He had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He had 3 blocks. Classic Raptors Pascal moment. Pacers were the better team. Rick Carlisle coached a good team, coached a good game. Never doubt Rick Carlisle and never doubt Tibbs. And it's interesting. It was, the second year in a row that the Pacers have beat the Knicks. Last year, everybody knows how banged up in the injuries, and the Pacers were able to steal that dogfight of a series last year. And of course, this year, the Knicks blowing Game 1, subsequently leading to this. These are situations you got to learn from. Edmonton Oilers are about to find out, can they overcome their situation going into the Stanley Cup Finals with a rematch against the Panthers after being down 3-0, coming back and tying the series last year, subsequently losing 2-0 in Game 7. So, this is just how life works. It's a building block. The Knicks have improved the last couple of years. They've grown. So congratulations to the Pacers, 125-108. They came out and they did what they were supposed to do. As a lifetime Knicks fan myself, I can't even get mad at this loss. Sometimes, you're screaming and you're hollering. The Pacers have been on this whirlwind of a tour since the playoffs started, especially when they absolutely destroyed Cleveland. I think Cleveland was probably their easiest opponent in the playoffs. I don't care if Cleveland fans take it personal. I think it was their easiest opponent. And they absolutely dissected them. This Knicks team was a dogfight of a series. And what is expected, on both ends of the floor. Unfortunately, Jalen and Karl Anthony Towns, they were in the dogfight. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, I mean, Karl Anthony had 22, 14. I mean, what else is that's those numbers will usually get you win. I mean, Brunson had 19 and 7, he just missed a lot of shots. He was 2 for 7 from the 3-point line, 8 for 18 from the field, and Karl Anthony was 8 for 19, 0 for 4. Missed a couple of free throws, just wasn't their night. Everybody expects them, they had a bad game. The Pacers were just a better team. When you go on social media and you listen to the fanboys and fangirls, it's unbelievable how uneducated a lot of these social media people are on basketball. And ignorant too. And then you got a bunch of people going online, Tibbs has got to go, this and that. I think it's time. He's exhausted his options. Mike Malone's waiting. And those are the people who are fanboys and fangirls who've got nothing going on with their lives. Take it personal. They got nothing going on with their lives. Fire Tibbs. Let's get Mike Malone. Last year, Rick Carlisle got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals by Boston, and you should have heard the stuff people were saying about Rick Carlisle. He shouldn't have left Dallas. Look, he left Luka. Look where Luka is now. Blah, blah, blah. You think I forget? And I remember saying it on my show last year, I said, Rick Carlisle is going to be fine. He'll be back in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's a fantastic coach. He left Dallas, and it was the best thing that ever happened to him. And people were like, no way. Look where Luka is now without him. How's Luka doing now? How is he going to be doing in the foreseeable future? Because he's not going to learn to play defense. So I don't know what anybody's saying. So shout out to Rick Carlisle. Shout out to Tibbs. Shout out to both teams in this fantastic Eastern Conference Finals. Fortunately, my Knicks didn't get what they wanted, but you know what? I'm optimistic about the future. And this was good for the NBA. It was good for basketball. So I can't even get mad. And to all the fanboys and fangirls who, continue to run their mouths on social media, stuck in their basements or stuck by themselves and do absolutely nothing with their lives besides talking, find another hobby to talk about. Stop firing coaches because they lose. Tibbs didn't get swept. He did all he could. He played the way he wanted to play, coached the way he wanted to coach, and got where he is. Of course, coaches get fired. We see that all the time. Great coaches get fired. Budenholzer got fired. Monty Williams got fired a few years back. I mean, coaches get fired all the time, but keep your emotions in check. The Eastern Conference Finals is not even 4 or 5 hours off, and people are already firing Tibbs. Just like last year, everybody was firing Carlisle when he got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, calm down, man. Take your emotions and go somewhere else with it. Folks, this is basketball, man. It's a tough game. If you've ever been involved in this game at a coaching or playing or anything level, it's tough. And a lot of the people that talk, I'm not talking about the Shaqs and the other analysts that actually won and competed and grinded. I'm talking about the people sitting in their houses and just talk on social media all day. This is not easy, man. So, at the end of the day, I give a lot of shout out to both teams in this conference finals. And, NBA Finals is coming up, and I'm definitely going to be talking about that for sure, because that's what I do here. And I'm not done with, I still got to talk about the Western Conference Finals. So let me get to that now. And, man, oh man, oh man. Of course, SGA and the boys in OKC got to the finals. They beat Minnesota in 5. I mean, Ant-Man, the stuff that people, again, I'm going to talk about that now. And Timberwolves walked out with a 124-94 win, in Game 5 to, advance to the NBA Finals. And congratulations to them. Congratulations to SGA. Most of you know I've been an SGA supporter for a long time, and he should have won the MVP last year. He was absolutely robbed, but at the same time, I am very happy about the way the MVPs have been going, giving the international boys the respect that they deserve. I know a lot of you American media and the fanboys and fangirls on social media, especially the Americanites, don't want to talk about SGA because he's not your American hope, and you want to put the mantle, put the crown, and give the scepter to Anthony Edwards. And I'm going to get to Ant-Man because I love Ant-Man. But he's not the guy right now. And SGA is the guy. And whether you guys like it or not, he's going to be the guy. And so is Giannis. And so is Jokic. And whoever else wants to come and join the international party. Because it's going to be an international party for a long time. Embiid, at this point, with all the injuries and everything, I don't think he's going to be around in that race anymore. Who knows where his career is? He's in the limbo situation right now. But, at the end of the day, man, shout out to Minnesota for getting to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Again, I heard people talking about firing the coach. Fanboys and fangirls who have no idea what they're talking about. And you see the Thunder, what they're doing and how they've been built. Sam Presti, wow. And he has 2 picks. He has a pick this year and another one next year. He's still got one more left from the Paul George trade. Can you imagine that? He potentially is going to win the NBA championship and still has a trade from that Clippers deal. Man, if you're the Kawhi camp and you're the Clippers organization, if you don't take this personal, I don't know how stupid you can get. I'm sorry. You gave up everything to help build a championship. The Los Angeles Clippers consequently built this team. They just gave Sam Presti the tickets and he just cashed all of them in. That's crazy. That's going to be for another show for another day. Wow. And I remember when that trade happened, I said, "Are you crazy?" And I said something on Twitter about. I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, you got to be serious." And then SGA, I was like, "Are you crazy? You guys are going to regret this." Kawhi don't want to play with SGA. Are you crazy? Kawhi is nowhere near another championship again. Nowhere near it. And not with that team and no draft capital. But anyways, let's talk about the teams that are relevant. Again, Ant-Man and the boys. The construction of Minnesota, I don't know what to say. Minnesota's been on this whirlwind tour for the last 5 to 10 years. When Tibbs was coaching and then they brought in Jimmy Butler and this piece and that piece. They've been on this whirlwind tour for the last 10 years, hoping that they can get there, but then always something kind of hits them, and whether they end up in the play-in or this happens or that happens. But, a lot of people have been criticizing Ant-Man, and I'm not going to criticize him. He's a young player. He's young. He's going to make his mistakes. Of course, he's made his mistakes. People have talked about him not being the face because he's not a family guy and he's not this, But let me tell you something. This is a new generation. They're going to do what they want. There's a lot of enticements out there, unfortunately, hasn't helped a lot of these young players. But they have to find a way to get through. We're not babysitters. We could only be coaches, mentors, and supporters. That's all we could be. We can't be anything else. We just got to put our hands on their shoulder and help them when they need it. We can't be their babysitters. We can't be their parents. There's a difference. We can help guide them, but don't try to be a parent and don't try to be a babysitter with these young players. And as for Ant-Man, I think he's going to be okay. Now, what Minnesota's going to do with that team in the future is up to them. They've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, back to back. And they got to watch that tape, look at their roster, evaluate it, and see where they could go so they could get to the next step, which is the finals. They're right there, you know? A lot of people took Ant-Man's comments about not really caring, but he said something in terms of like, you know, he's like, well, you know what? I'll be all right. He's not all right. He knows. He wants to get there. He has that. I can see it in him. He wants to get there. And he will, but he's just got to put in, you know, that extra work. Because I'll tell you right now, you can't depend on Julius Randle to be your second option all the time. And I'm sorry, but as a Knicks fan and getting a taste of Julius Randle for a few years in New York, I was happy that the trade happened. And, you know, let's see what Julius Randle does in his first offseason as a Timberwolf. You know, the New York lights are no longer on him, so he could actually concentrate on basketball because there's a lot of stuff with him. I won't get into that. But, yeah. So, you know, Rudy Gobert is going to still be there. They got DiVincenzo, and they got other pieces. I think Jaden McDaniels. They have something there. So, you know, the criticism that Ant-Man has been taking is ridiculous and preposterous. Like, calm down, folks. Again, the fanboys, fangirls, the social mediaites, the ESPNs, the Fox Sports. Like, come on, man. Seriously? Let the kid live. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to do stuff, dumb stuff. Who hasn't done dumb stuff? All of us as young people. The only difference is we didn't have social media growing up. I'm talking about us older people. We didn't have social media like that. It wasn't amplified. It wasn't magnified. You know, what did we have? 5-5, Black Planet. Shout out to Black Planet. Like, you know, Facebook was just coming into play. Like, come on, guys. Leave the kid alone. So, Timberwolves, they're going to be fine. They're going to get to where they need to go. But again, Shea is going to be running this boat for a while. So keep your eyes out. And to that, my NBA Finals prediction, I'm going to go with OKC in 5 games. I said it on Twitter, and I said it, whoever gets to the finals, SGA is going to be a problem. Even against my Knicks, I said it's going to be tough. I might have to go against them, but this one for sure, watching the structure of Indy, yes, I know it's Rick Carlisle, but SGA is on a different level, and I got SGA in 5 games. 5 games, yes, 5 games. Oklahoma City will capture their first championship. SGA will win the playoff MVP in 5 games. So, folks, this is the conference finals wrap up, and the next time I talk will be NBA Finals. I'll do my finals preview and stuff like that. But yeah, folks, that's it. That's a wrap. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thanks for listening as always. And to those that have supported the show and been listening consistently and actually, you know, taking the time to, out of their personal time, to listen to the show, I thank you so much. I appreciate it. And for those who whatever hate and whatever, congratulations. Thank you too. All the best to you. Do what's best for you. Otherwise, folks, thanks again. Thanks for listening. Unscripted 101, Playoff Edition. Respect.